Um, Good morning once more, team. Welcome to this Microsoft team meeting tutorial on study unit one, strategies of discovery. Before we can move on, I would like to quickly repeat the rules of the tutorial. Um, Please switch off your cameras as this has a tendency of interfering um, with the network. Um, the second rule, please, you will not be able to switch on your mic until I'm done with the presentations. Raise any issues you have through messages, and please fill in the attendance register at the end of the tutorial. As you can see, um, posting it in messages, and just after the end of the tutorial you can just click on the link there and go on fill in the register. Okay, the main aim of this tutorial is just to give a high-level summary of study unit 1 and to present the activities of the unit. Normally, each and every study unit is followed by a few activities. Please do all these activities because they'll serve to deepen your understanding in the course. Now, yesterday we spoke about um, study unit 1, introducing you to the world of research. But before that can be done, the study unit looks at different sources of general knowledge. These are basically the things we use for us to make sense of the social world, for us to make sense of our communities, for us to make sense of our countries, for us to make sense of the world. These are stated in your study guide as tradition, authority, mysticism, and religion, common sense, as well as um, media myths. Um, but now the problem with this kind of sources of knowledge is that it's full of lots of errors. Um, and those include inaccurate observations, overgeneralizations, selective observation, ego involvement in understanding, and premature closure of inquiry. I think all of us at some point we guilty of this because as human beings we have our own interests which we pursue, and we look at the world in terms of what is it that I can benefit from this. Um, but scientific inquiry or research is guided by specific norms, which actually makes it more superior in comparison with the other sources of knowledge. And these include universalism, it includes skepticism, disinterestedness, communalism, and honesty. Now, we have three dominant research approaches, and these are positivist research approach, interpretive research approach, and critical research approach. There are theorists or scholars who actually are famous for pursuing one approach or the other. Positivism, for instance, is associated mainly with Emile Durkheim, and interpretive research is associated with Max Weber, and critical research is associated with Karl Marx. Finally, in terms of activities, there are two activities for this study unit. The first one is that please select one of the sources of general knowledge discussed on page 4 to 7 of your study guide, and in your own words, define this source of knowledge. Give us examples of knowledge derived from this source and compare this with scientific research or inquiry. Secondly, do a small-scale literature search on Emil Durkheim, Max Weber, or Karl Marx. Match each theorist to positivist, interpretive, and critical approach. Choose one and tell us why you think he's the proponent of the specific approach, looking specifically on the arguments on ontology and epistemology. Yeah, that will be the end of the tutorial, and